Greetings everyone, thank you for coming to my channel. In this video you'll be learning about participles. So what are participles? Present participles are verbs that end in ing. Past participles that are regular verbs end in ed, while past participles that are irregular verbs don't end in ed. Participles can be used as adjectives, to form verb tenses, and to form passive voice. Past participles describe completed actions. Regular verbs end in ed, like walked, talked, and laughed, while irregular verbs don't end in ed, like eaten, fought, and bought. Past participles are used in past simple tense as well as perfect tenses, and I'll elaborate on all of this. Past participles being used in simple past tense. In simple past tense means the action started in the past and was completed in the past. So our first example says she walked her dog. So notice how walked ends in ed. It's a regular verb. Our second example says I ate my dinner. Ate is an irregular verb. As you can see, it doesn't end in ed. Example 3 says I just jumped over the fence. As you can see, the participle jumped, the past participle jumped, is a regular verb. It ends in ed. Our fourth example says he ran to the bus stop. Ran is a past participle and it's also an irregular verb. It doesn't end in ed. And as you can see, all of these actions started in the past and ended in the past. Past participles being used in perfect tenses. So I'm not going to go too much into detail about this, but I do have a video on all of the verb tenses, so feel free to check that out for a detailed explanation on verb tenses like past perfect continuous, continuous tenses, and just all of that good stuff. So past perfect says had walked. So for example, I had walked to work 50 times before buying a car. Present perfect says have walked. For example, I have walked to work 50 times. Future perfect says will have walked. So for example, come tomorrow, I will have walked to work 51 times. Present participles are verbs that end in ing and they describe ongoing actions like walking, talking, and fighting. Present participles are used with continuous tenses and perfect continuous tenses. Present participles being used in continuous tenses. So past continuous says was walking. So past continuous is an action that was ongoing in the past. For example, I was walking to school. Present continuous says am walking. So this is something that I'm currently doing and it's an ongoing thing. I am walking to school. And future continuous says will be walking. So this is something that will be an ongoing thing in the future. For example, I will be walking to school on Monday. Next we have present participles being used in perfect continuous tenses. So past perfect continuous says had been walking. So I had been doing this thing before another thing happened. So for example, I had been walking to school before I got hit by a car. Present perfect continuous says have been walking. So this is a past action that relates to the present. For example, I have been walking since I was a kid. Next we have future perfect continuous, which says will have been walking. So this is a future action that relates to the past. So for example, come next week, I will have been walking for 10 years. Next, we have participles being used as adjectives, and adjectives describe nouns. Nouns are persons, places, or things. So example 1 says the laughing child. So the participle laughing, which is a present participle, is being used to describe the child. Example 2 says the frozen water. So the participle frozen, which is an irregular past participle, is being used to describe the water. So example 3 says the loving parent. The present participle loving is being used to describe parent. Participles being used to form different verb tenses. So example 1 says she is running. So this is an ongoing thing. Example 2 says she has been running. So this is something that she started in the past and is still doing. Example 3 says come tomorrow, she will have been running for 10 years. So this is something she'll be doing in the future that relates to the past. So notice how we used the present participle for all of these sentences. It wouldn't make sense if we said she is run or she is ran. So that's why we had to use the present participle. Next, let's talk about how participles are used to form passive voice. Passive voice is used when a person wants to place emphasis on the action or the recipient of the action. When writing in passive voice, there will always be a form of the verb to be and the main verb's past participle. For example, hug would turn to hugged. To form passive voice sentences, the first step is figuring out what tense the sentence is in. So example 1 says, I will walk my dog. This sentence is in future tense. Example 2 says she ate all of the candy. This sentence is in past tense. Example 3 says he stole my car. This sentence is in past tense. And example 4 says I am wearing pink boots. This sentence is in present tense. The next step is conjugating the verb to be, then add the past participle form of the verb. So I will walk my dog turns to my dog will be walked. So we conjugated the verb to be from will to will be, and we conjugated the verb walk to the past participle walked. So example 2 says she ate all of the candy turns to all of the candy was eaten. So we conjugated ate to eaten, and then the to be verb is was. Example 3 says he stole my car turns to my car was stolen. So we conjugated the verb from stole to stolen, and the to be verb will be was. And our last example says I am wearing pink boots turns to the pink boots are being worn. So we turned wearing to worn, and our to be verb will be are. A participle phrase is a group of words that starts with a participle and functions as an adjective. So example 1 says laughing uncontrollably, the girl walked to her seat. So notice how laughing uncontrollably is a phrase and not just a participle. The participle is laughing, but it becomes a phrase because we added uncontrollably. Example 2 says running very fast, the thief got away with the jewelry. So notice how running very fast includes a participle, but it's not just a participle. It's a whole phrase. It's more than one word. Example 3 says students wearing green pants must stand on the right side of the classroom. So notice how wearing green pants includes a participle, but it's a phrase because it includes more than one word. Thank you guys for coming. I hope you found this video informative. If you did find this video informative, please feel free to like, comment, or subscribe, or all of the above, and I'll see you next time.